April 11th, 12:13 p.m., District Court, Courtroom number 2. Rubble, 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 quack. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Payne, please call your witness. This next person is someone who witnessed the crime as it happened. The prosecution calls Miss Dalia Hawthorne to the stand. What's with this stiff silence? In my long career as a judge, I have been deceived by many witnesses. It's my job to doubt, but it's my job to doubt, to take no one at their word. But in your case, I must admit that you radiate a glow of complete sincerity. I can't believe he actually said that. Now then, witness, could you please state your name, your full name? Don't worry, sweetie, there's no need to be nervous. If anyone says anything rude, you can be sure I'll cut them right down to size. And I will bash them with my gavel. I love how they look straight at me when they say that. Thank you for calming my nerves. You were all so nice. I almost feel right at home. Not at all. It was nothing. If we may move on now, what is your full name and occupation? I'm Miss Dalia Hawthorne. I'm a junior in literature at Ivy University. I just want to say it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence. The honor's all mine. No, the honor is all mine. Well, we know whose milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Sir? Is there something I can help you with? You just go on and say whatever it is on your mind. I'm sure that there must be some kind of mistake. Feeny wouldn't kill anyone. I just know it. Yes, I can see why you'd say that. She's going to be a tough witness, all right. It only took her 12 seconds to wrap them around her little finger. Clack. Now then, please proceed with your testimony. Let's hear about what you witnessed on the day of the incident, if you please. What I witnessed. I had been planning for... oh my god, I'm starting to get tongue-tied. I had been planning to go back to Feeny's place after class was over. Feeny and Dougie... Dougie... they were talking behind the building. Then suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. That's when Feeny noticed that I was standing there. I went to go and find some other students, and they called the authorities. I don't know what to say. According to you, Miss Hawthorne, the defendant didn't do anything wrong. Rubble, 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 rubble. Objection. Young lady, as old as I am, even I recall how hot the flames of young passion can burn. Nevertheless, it is my job to discover the truth. Please, tell us the truth. Please. But I would never tell the truth. That's more than enough, witness. I won't allow this to continue. Well, what do you mean by that? Please, just let me proceed with my cross-examination, Your Honor. Sit down and shut up. I, for one, don't plan to win my case on a bunch of paper-thin lies. Hee. You haven't changed a bit, Mia Fey. What's this? So you two are acquainted? Yes, we've met before. Once. Clack. In any case, Miss Fey, the floor is all yours. It's good to see you again, Madam Fey. Madam? I'm no one's grandma yet, girlie. What I witnessed. Cross-examination. Okay. I've been planning to go to Feeny's place after class. There was something here. Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. That seems suspicious. Especially since it contradicts what he said earlier. Are you saying that the victim just collapsed on his own? Yes. In other words, the defendant never touched the victim? Is that right? I was watching the whole time. Feeny never did a thing to Dougie. If I press her for no good reason, I just know the judge will get angry with me. So what should I do about her testimony? Show contradiction, of course. Feeble lies are not very becoming, Miss Hawthorne, so let's drop them, shall we? But what? I would never. Objection. Miss Fay, I will not have you badgering this witness. I believe the defense is engaged in a fishing expedition. That is, she has no supporting... Please don't glare at me like that. I'm just doing my job. Now then, Miss Hawthorne. The defendant's palm print was found on Mr. Swallow's leather jacket. It has already been shown that Mr. Wright did in fact push the victim. What? There's no need to try to cover for the defendant. It would be much better if you came out and told us the whole truth. There's nothing to worry about, young lady. Just tell us everything you saw. Yes, Your Honor, I will. If you don't mind, I'd like to revise my testimony. Looks like we're finally getting somewhere. Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. Okay. You didn't see it? Well, I saw the moment when Dougie fell to the ground. And at that time, there was only the two of them at the scene. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and the victim, Doug Swallow. Yes, that's right. And the kitty is walking through it again. You might hear her whining. It didn't look like they were fighting, and I didn't hear anything unusual. Oh, wait a minute. She didn't hear anything. The victim fell on top of his umbrella. There was a loud sound when this happened. Objection. You say you didn't hear anything unusual? Is that correct? Yes. That's why I was very relaxed, looking at the scenery around me. That's nice, but I find that just a little odd. I have here the testimony of your boyfriend, Mr. Phoenix Wright, and he clearly testified to the effect that when he pushed the victim, he heard a sharp, loud noise. He said that? If you were really that close to the two of them, why didn't you hear this noise as well? Well, maybe the noise just wasn't all that memorable. Objection. But according to Mr. Wright's testimony, it was a sharp noise like a snap. There's no way a noise like that could fail to make an impression. Ack! May I have a moment to answer? But by all means. I know the reason why I didn't hear the noise. Okay. You see, the truth is, I had my headphones on, and I was listening to music at the time. Sepultura. Headphones? You mean that both your ears were covered? The rain was just beginning to let up. But it seemed as though Thor wasn't ready for his fun to come to an end. So the sky continued to flash and rumble. Thunder and lightning, huh? Very, very frightening. Yes, I'm afraid of the sound of thunder, so I put my headphones on to block it out. Well, Your Honor, as you can see, there weren't any contradictions in her testimony after all. Wait a sec. Mia, that testimony just now. She said something that could totally change this whole case. She didn't hear anything. I'm not sure. She didn't hear anything. She was listening to music. There was lightning. I gotta think about this. I don't know. I'm kind of, let's think this out. Didn't hear anything. Oh, she had headphones on. That makes sense. This is new. There was lightning. So let's go with that. Your Honor, there is a problem with the witness's testimony. Well, what do you mean? Didn't you notice? She said there was lightning, correct? Yes, what about it? Well, lightning is actually a large discharge of electricity in the atmosphere. Am I correct? Now's not a time for a science lesson, Miss Fay. Yes, Your Honor. Anyway, since the cause of death was electrocution, isn't it possible that the victim died from being hit by a bolt of lightning? Quack. I must admit that thought had not occurred to me. Just what kind of thoughts do occur to this guy anyway? This entire case is built on the premise that Mr. Doug Swallow was murdered. But that very premise itself is mistaken. The defense believes that Mr. Swallow was in fact the victim of a stray bolt. Rubble, 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 rubble. Clack, clack, clack. It appears the defense may be onto something. Could it be that the death was actually accidental? All right, you did it, Mia. I'll be taking that not... Oh, I didn't even get to read that. I'm hurt that you would have such a low opinion of me, Miss Fay. Huh? I'm not a fool, you know. The prosecution has done its research, Your Honor. We found that there were no lightning strikes on the day at that location. What? What's more, we have evidence that the electrical cable is definitely linked to this case. Evidence, Mr. Payne? Well, what is this evidence? This affidavit. And who is this affidavit from? The pharmacological students who were conducting experiments in their lab that day. I'm getting totally tongue-tied. Allow me to read out to the court the testimony of the pharmacological students. That is a word I'm having trouble with. All equipment in the labs lost power all of a sudden at around 3 p.m. that day. Was it a blackout? All of the lab's equipment run on high voltage, Your Honor. So you're saying the equipment lost power because... Precisely. They lost power because of the severed electrical cable. The power outage occurred at approximately 3 p.m., which fits the time of death listed in the autopsy report. Exactly. In other words, the victim died as a result of touching the severed electrical cable. Rubble, 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 rubble. According to the students, the cables were very, very old. They were planning on having them replaced in the near future. I see. Apparently, the cables had become so brittle that even the smallest bump would have caused them to break. Students' testimony added to the court record. However, there is one thing that troubles me. If the cable could have been broken by any small bump, then it wouldn't have snapped. It wouldn't have snapped if it hadn't been bumped into, correct? Well, I suppose you could say that. Miss Fay, do you have any thoughts regarding the cause of the severed cable? Your Honor? I don't like how this is looking one bit. I have to come up with something to try to regain some momentum. If it pleases the court, the defense would like to state its opinion. Clack. Well then, let's hear it. Who or what was it that caused the break to the cable? I don't know. So who or what was it that caused the cable to break? Okay, I I don't know. Well, let's look at the student testimony. The old power cable broke due to some sort of impact at 4:09 on 4/9 at 2:55 p.m. Okay. Okay, so here's the thing. Here we'll flip back. If we look at this photo, his clock stopped at a couple of minutes past 3, but the power outage happened, when did it say? 2:55. So if something happened, if that shove did have something to do with the power outage, then Your Honor, please think back to Mr. Wright's testimony. The defendant's testimony, he said that after he pushed the victim, he heard a loud, sharp noise. Now, this happened at around 3 p.m., correct? Yes, that sounds about right. Wait, are you saying that the lab equipment lost power at 2:55 p.m., which fits right in Mr. Phoenix Wright's timeline? In other words, it was Mr. Wright's shove that caused the power outage. Rubble, 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 rubble. Yes, the prosecution also came to that conclusion. And it was that very shove that caused Mr. Swallow to be electrocuted. Objection. I'm afraid I can't agree with you there, Mr. Payne. What's this supposed to mean? Take a good look at where the victim landed after being shoved. See the umbrella? It's by the electrical pole. That's right. The victim banged into the pole as a result of being pushed. It was the impact that caused the cable to break. Well, that makes sense. And then the victim was electrocuted? I'm sorry, Your Honor, but no. It doesn't make sense at all. If the victim was shoved into the far pole, then he couldn't have been electrocuted by the severed cable in the foreground here. I don't know. I'm not really following her logic, because the cable's like right there, right over the body. What am I missing? Or is she saying that he fell? Okay, so he fell over by the other pole that's in the background, and that's why the umbrella's there. So he rolled over this way. He couldn't have been electrocuted by the severed cable in the foreground here. Okay. Oh no. In other words, someone other than my client must have electrocuted the victim, or he just stumbled into it like an idiot. Order in the court. The lamentations of my enemy. How I've longed to hear them. It's true, the defense is absolutely correct. There doesn't seem to be any way the defense... Mr. Judge, sir, may I say something? The Madam Attorney's explanation. She said some things that are a little different than I remember them. What? What the... Please, just once more. May I please testify one last time, please, Mr. Judge? Of course, it's all right. Just you go right ahead and give your little new testimony. This is it. She's finally starting to show her true colors. What I Witnessed, Part 2. Okay, here we go. The truth is, Feeney pushed him twice. The first time was into the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke. Then Dougie tried his best to run away from him, but Feeney caught up and crashed into him from behind. The cable snapping and Doug being electrocuted, it all occurred in less than a minute. I don't know about this. So after being shoved, the victim got up and tried to run away. And that's when the defendant pushed him for the second time. I'm so sorry, Feeney, but I just have to tell the truth. I'm compelled. Am I doing the right thing? Am I, Mr. Judge? Of course you are, my dear. As painful as it may be, you are. Clack. Now then, Miss Fay, you may proceed with your cross-examination. Okay. What I witnessed, part 2. The truth is, Feeney pushed him twice. Miss Hawthorne, previously to your testimony, you said the following. Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. I know. I'm sorry. I wanted to protect Feeney. So that's why you basically lied to the court? I was a bad girl. I know. Mr. Judge? Yes? Would you please forgive little old me? Of course he won't. What you did... Oh, come on now. It was just a little old white lie. We'll forget it this time, but please be more careful from now on. All right, sweetie? Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Judge. Not at all. The judge had better be more careful himself. A dark alley is friendlier than that girl. The first time was into the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke. You're saying you actually saw the victim get pushed into the electrical pole? I know he doesn't look it, but Feeney can be an imp when he wants to be. Oh, really? But I never imagined that he would cause an electrical cable to break. Feeney really is scary when he gets mad. Yes, he sounds like a very dangerous individual indeed. Jesus. And then Dougie tried his best to run away from him. Hold it. So let me get this straight. You were happily listening to music on your headphones while you watched the scene unfold. Is that right? Objection. Miss Fay, I'll have to ask you to stop badgering the witness. I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy. I was so scared that I couldn't even move. All of a sudden, all I could do was stand there and cheer them on. Cheer them on? What do you mean by that? Well, I wished the best for them both, and that they would each give the fight their all. That's very sweet of you to be so supportive. And what happened after that? But Feeney caught up and crashed into him from behind. Hold it. That doesn't sound quite right. There were handprints found on the chest of the victim's leather jacket. Mr. Payne, were there also prints found on the back of the leather jacket? Oh, well, no, there weren't. Madam Fay, may I suggest that you listen a little more carefully? I said that he crashed into him from behind. My Feeney wouldn't leave any prints behind in that case, would he? The cable snapping and Doug being electrocuted all occurred in less than a minute. I don't think that's right. In fact, broke due to some sort of... Okay. So... But, on the other hand, that's like 7 or 8 minutes. And I think this should be... Objection. That's enough, witness. I'm afraid I don't understand. You will in a minute. Could you please take a look at this picture? Oh, that medicine. That's the one Feeney likes to take for his cold. It's not the medicine I want you to look at. It's the wristwatch. It stopped at the precise time the victim was electrocuted. In other words, 3:05. Yes, and your point is, Miss Fay? My point is this. What time was it when the lab suffered that outage due to the cable snapping? Well, according to the student's testimony, the answer is clear. It was 2:55. Oh, no. Would you care to explain to the court, Miss Dalia Hawthorne, what exactly happened during this 10-minute interval? Oh, no. The defense proposes that it was during this interval that the real murderer killed Mr. Doug Swallow. Or maybe he just stumbled into the hanging cord. Clack, clack, clack. Order in the court. This is nonsense. The real murderer. Objection. Even you can't deny that the time between the cable breaking and the electrocution are completely unaccounted for. Then who was it? Who else are you saying could have done it? There's only one person who could have murdered Mr. Swallow. Only after my client had left the scene. Was there a window for opportunity for the real killer? Crack! Miss Fay, is the defense ready to indict someone as this real killer? It's finally time. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Yes, Your Honor, we are ready. Very well, but remember, if you accuse the wrong person, you will be penalized. Think very carefully before you speak, Miss Fay. Click. Now then, Miss Fay, let's have it. Who is the real killer? Okay. Well, the list of suspects is really short here. Can't be the prosecutor. Can't be the victim. Definitely not Phoenix Wright. Can't be Mr. Grossberg, so that really only leaves one person. It could only have been you, Dalia Hawthorne. How can you... The defense is grasping at straws, Your Honor. 10 minutes passed between the time the cable broke and the time of the electrocution. What exactly were you doing that whole time, Miss Hawthorne? Were you really listening to some music while cheering the both on as they fought? I find it hard to believe that you didn't lift a finger to stop the men dearest to you. Rubble, 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 rubble. Crack, crack, crack. Order, order, Miss Fay. Well, what? I mean, why? That is, I'm stumbling over my words. Miss Hawthorne, I believe you did witness the two men fighting on that day. However, the cat is here again. Come on up. After Mr. Wright pushed the victim and subsequently left the scene, it was you who pushed Mr. Swallow to his death by your very hands. Oh no! How can you say something so mean, Madam Fay? I didn't do anything. Clack. Miss Fay, this is a very serious charge. Your Honor, please, I have something I want to say. You? Oh, what is it? Please strike everything the defense said just now from the record. What the? Are you daft? You're totally wrong, Miss Fay. Dolly, she wouldn't do something like that. Clack. Mr. Wright, get back in your seat, please. Bailiff, grab that man. Okay. Leave my Dolly alone. That boy. He's got himself in way over his head. Oh, Mr. Grossberg, you're back. It seems I've arrived just in the nick of time. I found a police report on the incident in your newspaper clipping. I found the police report on that incident. Oh, I read that kind of wrong, and I found that police report on that incident that's from your newspaper clipping. Police report added to the court record. Thank you so much. This is exactly what I was hoping for. You'd better take a good look at it. It details how you came to lose your boyfriend. Clack. Now then, the defense has made a very serious accusation. Actually, hold on. Hold that thought, Judge. What does it say? Location, District Court, Courthouse Cafeteria, 4 p.m. on the 27th of August. Diego Armando. My name is Diego Armando. You killed me. Prepare to die. Occupation, lawyer. Suspect, Dalia Hawthorne. Armando ingested poison while interviewing the suspect regarding another case. Traces of poison were found in the victim's coffee cup. No poison was found in the vicinity or on the suspect's person. It is unclear how the poison entered the victim's coffee cup. Okay. All right. Now, the defense has made a very serious accusation. Nope. Get out of here. Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this? Well, really, Your Honor, May I interrupt you for just a teensy-weensy moment, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't you worry, my dear. I have the situation well in hand. Sniffle. That is, go right ahead. Madam Faye, are you seriously accusing me of killing my sweet Dougie? Yes, I am. Not only am I saying you murdered Doug Swallow, but you also tried to pin the whole thing on your current lover, Phoenix Wright. Objection. I told you that you should let me handle this. Weep. Sorry. Please go ahead. How can you say that? I'm absolutely devoted, my dear Feeny. The notion that I would try to frame him is ludicrous. This is all just too much for poor little me to bear. I believe the girl is trying to ask what on earth her motive would be. The answer to that lies somewhere in this police report. It must. 8 months ago, an incident occurred in the basement cafeteria of this building. And then that same day, the two of them accidentally meet. Your Honor, the defense requests further testimony from Miss Dalia Hawthorne. Further testimony? About what? About the events of the day when she first met the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Objection. What could that possibly have to do with this case? Objection. The witness claims that she has no reason to frame the defendant. Am I correct? Well, I have evidence that suggests that she, in fact, had a very good reason. Very well, then. The court grants the defense's request. Young lady, would you mind staying on for just a teensy bit longer? Of course not, Mr. Judge. Get ready for the battle of your life, Dalia Hawthorne. Okay. How I met my Feeny. I first met my darling Feeny 8 months ago. It was like we were destined to meet in this very courtroom's basement reading room. The moment our eyes met, my heart skipped a beat. We've been going out ever since that fateful day. We're lovers. We're so lovey-dovey, lovey-wovey. We literally make people sick. It's just jealousy, I think. Mr. Wright, do that again and you will be held in contempt of court. And now we enter the final act of our little drama. I used to say in the days of my youth, go get her. How I met my dear Feeny. Okay. Okay, hold it. Shut up. So until that time, you had been dating Doug Swallow? Yes. I'm a real fool, I know. Letting my emotions change so quickly, I'm ashamed of myself. No, not at all. Look at me. I'm infamous for changing my mind. My critics have even taken to calling me Judge Fickle. Maybe you should look for a different line of work. Despite that, however, he always hands down the correct verdict. That's why some people also call him the Great Judge Edie. It's like we were destined to meet in this very courtroom's basement reading room. Hold it. The courtroom reading room. The courthouse reading room. That's a strange place to meet the love of your life. That's not true, Madam Faye. After all, Feeny was not only an art student, but he was also planning on becoming a lawyer. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about you, Miss Hawthorne. What was a literature student like you doing in a courthouse reading room? Objection. This line of questioning is a waste of time. It has nothing to do with our murder case. Miss Faye, I'm warning you, if this has nothing to do with Mr. Swallow's case... I have to remember the judge is on Dahlia's side. I'd better tread carefully. No, we're going to keep pressing. Your Honor, if you'll allow me some latitude, I think I can establish relevance. Please ask her to continue on with her testimony. Very well. Young lady, I've got a simple question for you. What were you doing downstairs in the courthouse reading room? If it pleases your honor, the answer is simply this. I had to come to this courtroom to do some research for a paper I was writing. Really? That's not true. That is not true at all. Where is that? 8 months ago? Yeah, here it is. You were a suspect. So, objection. Miss Hawthorne, you weren't here because of your research paper, were you? Didn't you actually come here for a much more important reason? Objection. What's the meaning of this cocky smile on your face, Miss Fay? 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse, there was another tragedy. Another tragedy? You mean that incident in which an attorney was poisoned? The name of the suspect in that incident is listed here in this report, and that name is Dalia Hawthorne. What? Dalia Hawthorne? Yes, the sweetie pie of everyone's eye, Miss Dalia Hawthorne. She was the prime suspect in a criminal case just 8 months ago. Rubble, 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 clack, clack, clack. Order, order, order! This is unbelievable. It's true then. The love... Miss Fay, that's not fair. You can't slander my witness with... I, Winston Payne, will not allow it. Mr. Prosecutor, I believe I was speaking. The game is interrupting the lines on itself. Pardon me. Go right ahead. It's true that about 8 months ago, the police expressed some interest in me. Expressed some interest, huh? Mr. Judge, sir, I know I'm under oath, so I'll tell you the absolute truth. I did not commit the crime that occurred during that incident 8 months ago. I see. Okay, I've tied the two crimes together. Now I've just got to stay on the offense. Well done, Mia. Oh, I really lit a fire in my heart and my buttocks. Get out of here, you disgusting man. I can hardly tell which is more inflamed, my spirit or my hemorrhoids. Get out. The poisoning. I met the lawyer who was poisoned to discuss something in the cafeteria that day. I left my seat for just a teensy-weensy moment, and that's when it happened. From what I heard, it was a liquid poison that is lethal at just 2 teaspoons. Not only that, I heard it was a very special kind of poison. So you see, I'm innocent. I wouldn't even know where to get a poison like that. Really? I think I know what the funny line is already. So that's what happened here 8 months ago. However, as you've heard from the witness's testimony, she had nothing to do with it. I think the defense is just about out of tricks. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Payne, but tricks are for kids. I'm afraid the defense has many more tricks up its sleeves today, and I'll be sure to show them to you before the end of this cross-examination. What the... Why does the defense suddenly feel stronger? Mia, you're glowing with a true lawyer's aura, my dear. The proud posture and self-confidence absolutely smashing. Oh, my hemorrhoids. Okay. Let's not even... Okay. I don't think so. He was a 4th-year pharmacology student at Ivy University. I think this is it. Aha! Gotcha. So you wouldn't know how to get that kind of poison, I don't believe you. What? In fact, you had easy access to that kind of poison, didn't you? At your boyfriend's lab. Boyfriend? You mean the victim, Doug Swallow? That's right. Up until 8 months ago, Miss Hawthorne was dating Mr. Swallow, And if you'll recall, Mr. Swallow was a pharmacology student at Ivy University. But pharmacology? His laboratory contained highly advanced chemistry equipment. In fact, without such equipment, the culprit could never have obtained such a rare and special poison. Oh no! Well, Miss Hawthorne, it seems you had access to such a poison after all. And then, it was a matter of slipping it into the victim's coffee when he wasn't looking. The only person who could have done that was the one sitting at his very table, you. Oh no! Clack, clack, clack. Order, order, order! Could it be? Objection! That's nothing but a... May I say something, Madame Fay? What is it, Miss Hawthorne? The amount of poison in the coffee was 2 teaspoons, correct? In order to carry that much liquid, you would need some kind of container, wouldn't you? Well, yes, that's true. I was searched immediately after the incident took place. Quite true. In fact, the entire courthouse was turned upside down. But they didn't find a suspicious container anywhere, did they? She's right. They even mentioned that in the report. Well, you could have easily gotten rid of something like that, something that small. Excuse me, madam, but this is a court of law. If you're saying that I threw the poison container away, I think you need to show some kind of proof. Proof? She got me good with that one. Clack. Provide some evidence or I'll have to disallow this line of questioning, Miss Fay. Unless we can come up with some evidence, we're going to lose this lead. The police conducted a full body search of Dalia and of the entire courthouse, and yet the container holding the poison disappeared right after the crime occurred. If you're going to accuse the young lady of committing the murder, then where is the container the poison was carried in? What happened to it? This is it, right here. A small bottle necklace given to Wright on the day they met. He showed it to everyone. Take that. You were forced to get rid of the container in a hurry, weren't you? And that's why you passed it on to someone who had nothing to do with the case. Someone that you knew wouldn't be searched. Who is this person? Mr. Phoenix Wright, of course. Objection. So the defendant was this witness's accomplice? Of course not. She gave the poison to him, disguised as a present. But what? But that's... That's a charming little necklace. Is this a little bottle? It's really quite cute. So what about it? What does it mean, Miss Fay? The day that the witness met and fell for Mr. Phoenix Wright was 8 months ago, August 27th, the very same day of the poisoning incident. Under the pretense of love, the witness gave my client a present. All for the purpose of hiding the one piece of evidence that would give her away. What? Are you saying there's a deadly poison in here? No, there's no longer any poison in that bottle. However, I'm certain if the crime lab were to analyze it, they would find a trace amount. Oh no! Waha! Clack, clack, clack. Order in the court. Objection. On behalf of Dalia, I object. I'm suddenly not sick anymore. Mr. Wright, control yourself. I won't let you bully her like this. Mr. Wright, I thought I told you to stay in your seat. Mr. Wright, why? Why are you going through so much trouble to protect her? Why? Because I'm madly in love with her. Madly in love. I haven't heard anyone say that in such a long time. Mr. Wright, have you ever thought about this? Why exactly would a woman like Dalia Hawthorne want to date? Why would she want to date you anyway? You're a gigantic pussy. I mean, I guess she must be madly in love with me too. Mr. Wright, please open your eyes. At this point in the trial, I think it should be obvious to everyone. The real reason that Dalia Hawthorne is dating you is because of that necklace. Dalia Hawthorne was not and is not madly in love with you. The only thing she's after is that bottle necklace you love to wear around your neck. My necklace? Back there in the waiting room, you said it yourself. Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. What a strange girl asking for a present back like that. For Dalia Hawthorne, that necklace is irrefutable evidence of her crime. That's why she absolutely had to get it back. You're lying. But you never gave it back to her. And to make things worse for her, you insisted on showing it to everyone you met. That's why she... I don't believe you. No, that's a lie. That's impossible. Eek. That's not true. Mia, are you alright? Ah, the defendant, he's getting away. Bailiff, hurry. After him. Okay. But Mia, are you alright? Yes, I think so. That boy, he went completely insane. Where's Mr. Wright? It looks like the bailiff caught him, so he should be back here soon. Thank goodness. Oh no. What is it? The bottle necklace. Miss Hawthorne's present. It's gone. What? That's terrible. Mr. Wright must have grabbed it when he slammed into me. Foolish boy. That's the only thing that could have saved him. What in blazes are we supposed to do now? Mr. Wright, this sort of behavior is unprecedented in the history of this court. I'm sorry. I'm afraid that your apology is not enough. Mr. Wright, what did you do with the bottle necklace? Forgive me, I'm sorry. It's okay, just give back the necklace. No. I ate it. You what? You ate it? It was too big to swallow, so I had to chew it into little bits first, but yeah. What was it made of? What? What is he doing now? Hold it. Your Honor, you've got to stop the trial. Mr. Wright, are you feeling okay? Does your stomach hurt? That bottle you swallowed may have had some poison left in it. Objection. It seems the defendant has proven the prosecution's case for us. Clearly that bottle did not contain a deadly poison at all. How can you be so sure? I think that's obvious. As you can see, the defendant is still very much alive. As for the poison, more like a fledgling defense attorney's overactive imagination. So it would seem. No, there must be some mistake. The bottle must not have had any poison left in it. Either that or the poison must have lost its potency. There. It's all right, rookie. Trusting your client is the most noble thing a defense attorney can do. And it's heartwarming to see that you've placed so much faith in Mr. Wright. But that's how it is for us on the prosecution side, too. For example, I would trust the witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life. Which is why I can state that your assessment of her is completely wrong. Quick, that's enough. Unfortunately, Miss Fay, I cannot accept your explanation of these events. But why? This may be impossible for a beginner like you to understand, but in a court of law, evidence is everything. Even after I proved so much, is she going to get away with everything? Click. Well, now that the suspicion surrounding Miss Hawthorne has been cleared up, I would like to proceed with the... Hold it. Mr. Wright, I'm sorry, Miss Fay. It totally slipped my mind. I'm really, really sorry. I know you believed in me, and I feel like I really let you down. Mr. Wright, what are you trying to say? There's something I forgot to tell you. What is it? That day, the day I met Doug Swallow. That girl, shouldn't see her anymore, man. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you, for your own sake, if you continue to see her, it's gonna be bad news, man. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that crazy chick, man. Last night someone stole some poison from our lab, man. But poison? The same thing happened 8 months ago. A drug sample was stolen. She came to the lab that night, too. It could only have been her. That girl is a thief. Stop it. Don't talk about her like that. Is it true? Did he really say that? That's ridiculous. There's one more thing. After I pushed him that day, I got worried and came back to have a look. And she was there. Dolly was right there. She was crouching down next to him. What? She told me not to ever tell anyone about it, but... I'm sorry, Dolly. Objection! Your Honor, the defendant is... Miss Fay, you tell me. Dolly didn't do it. She's innocent. So Dahlia stole poison 8 months ago too, huh? If you put that together with Mr. Wright's testimony, then there's only one possible conclusion. The defense believes that Miss Dalia Hawthorne stole some poison on the night before she killed Doug Swallow. The night before? Naturally, her motive for stealing it was to kill someone. Miss Fay, if you're so certain of your theory, then let me ask you this. Mia, this is your last chance. Think carefully now. There's something that she's desperately wanted to get back. Therefore, exactly who was Miss Dalia Hawthorne planning to kill? Was it Phoenix Wright? I think it possibly was. Well, it's really the only real suspect. Heck that. There was only one person that was standing squarely in Miss Dalia Hawthorne's way. And that person was Mr. Phoenix Wright. Me? Objection. That's preposterous. After all, it was Doug Swallow that was murdered. Well, it's true that that's how things worked out. But let's remember that Mr. Swallow died of electrocution, not poison. The person that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison was, in fact, you, Phoenix Wright. There's no one else that it could be. But how can that be? I thought Mr. Wright and Miss Hawthorne were in love. Poor Mr. Wright. This must be killing him. Hang in there. I'll bring her to justice. I swear it. As I said before, the only thing Miss Hawthorne truly cared about was the one piece of evidence linking her to that incident 8 months ago. That's right. The bottle necklace. That's all she cared about. But even so, why would she go so far as to murder him? 8 months ago, just after the fall of the attorney in the basement cafeteria, Dalia Hawthorne could think of only one thing: how to get rid of that bottle. How to get rid of the bottle necklace as quickly as possible. No, it can't be. It was a pretty good move she made, too. The evidence was missing for a long time. But there was just one big problem. Although she got him to hide the evidence, Mr. Wright refused to return it to her. To him, the tiny little bottle was a cherished treasure. He even showed it to everyone he met. You mean that's why she tried to kill Mr. Wright? Correct, Your Honor. It was to retrieve that piece of evidence. That can't be true! Feeny, what a joke you are. Honestly, how can any woman ever count on you for anything? I even told you time and time again to keep your trap shut about me and that necklace. You disgust me. But Miss Hawthorne, it appears that we're nearing the end of this trial. Fine, I can tell you plan on making me into a criminal no matter what I say. You are a criminal, Miss Hawthorne. We'll see about that. But first, where's your evidence? Seems your sniveling little crybaby of a client has eaten the bottle as a snack. Ugh. Well, hey, old man, are you senile or something? Why don't you say something instead of sitting there with that dumb look on your face? But Miss Hawthorne, what's happened to you? Are you really that shocked? Or do you prefer me this way, Mr. Judge? With absolutely no proof, you treat a voluntary witness like she's a mass murderer. Well, I have nothing more to say. I'll be heading home now, if you don't mind. But we're not finished. Fine. Then ask this nasty old hag to finish up already. Hold it. Hag? Who's scruffy looking? I can't let her get away this time. Stop me! If you keep on pushing without any evidence, you could pay the ultimate price as a lawyer. The ultimate price? You'd be forced to take off your attorney's badge forever, I'm afraid. No. You'd better think it over carefully, Miss Fay. Or should I say, Miss Gray? Click. Well, Miss Fay, can you provide evidence that would establish her guilt once and for all? If I mess up here, my career as a lawyer is over. But to be honest, at this point, I don't have any evidence that's well-founded. Even so, I'd rather lose my attorney's badge than let her get away with murder. Clack, or slap on the counter. Your Honor, the defense would like to present proof. Impossible. You can't possibly have any proof. Stupid woman. Click. It is the opinion of the court that there has already been enough discussion. Therefore, I will allow only one piece of evidence to be presented. Just one? If you are unable to establish her guilt, then I'm afraid that a very harsh verdict will immediately be handed down on Mr. Phoenix Wright. I understand, Your Honor. I can just imagine the headlines for tomorrow's newspaper. Up-and-coming lawyer plummets to earth before she gets the chance to soar. She was planning to poison Mr. Wright. If that's the case, then the poison was probably in there. Well then, Miss Fay, please present your evidence. Show to this court the irrefutable proof that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison Mr. Wright. Boop, 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 boop. Here it is. Here it is, Your Honor. The evidence that will prove her guilt once and for all. Cold Killer X? Phoenix Wright's beloved cold medicine. Does our rookie defense attorney have a bit of a cold? If I did, I still wouldn't take this cold medicine. After all, it's been poisoned. What? Remember what the defendant said in his testimony? But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. I always eat with Dalia, just the two of us. She was the one who took his bottle of Cold Killer X. Then she poisoned it, knowing that Mr. Wright was going to take some. Objection. Now you're really grasping at straws. After all, it was the victim, Doug Swallow, that was holding the medicine. I would like the court to recall the crime that happened here 8 months ago. Where did Miss Hawthorne hide the evidence? What are you talking about? 8 months ago, the poison was hidden in her bottle necklace, which she then gave to someone else for safekeeping. Someone she had accidentally run into in the reading room. My client, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yes, that's right. She did the same thing this time as well. After shoving the victim, Mr. Phoenix Wright left the scene of the crime. That is when the murderer, Dalia Hawthorne, appeared. With her, she was carrying some poison. She was carrying the poisoned bottle of Cold Killer X. This, of course, was so she could carry out her plan to murder Mr. Wright. I believe she did testify that she was going to meet with the defendant. Yes, and she heard and saw everything that happened at the scene of the crime, including what the defendant and the victim were arguing about, and the cut electrical cable. That's when she realized, I can't allow Doug Swallow to live. I almost didn't read that. She used the severed electrical cable to silence him forever. Getting tongue-tied. Unfortunately for her, this is when the problem occurred. Mr. Wright, who she thought had left the scene, came back to check on the victim. And on top of that, because of the power outage, some students showed up as well. It's hardly any wonder that she was, as she put it, in a state of panic. Recall that she was carrying that bottle of poison cold medicine. She must have thought, what if they search me like they did 8 months ago? 8 months ago? Yes, she disposed of the evidence exactly the same way as she did back then. She had someone else hold it, in this case, Doug Swallow. Wouldn't her fingerprints be on it then? Oh, come on now, everyone. Surely you aren't fooled, are you? Don't call me Shirley. This stupid woman, she's nothing but a filthy, stinking liar. Right, Mr. Prosecutor? Huh? Yes, that's exactly right. This is just pure desperation. Objection. I wonder which one of us is the desperate one. So, Miss Hawthorne, this cold medicine, I wonder if you wouldn't mind taking some. Well, Mr. Wright... Well, Mr... Start over. Well, Mr. Wright ate that necklace of yours, right? Now it's your turn to prove your innocence. What do you say? If I'm just a filthy, stinking liar, then there's no need to worry. So come on, show us. I dare you to take some of this medicine right now. Mia Fey. Mia Fey. Ooh. Do you think you've won? Well, do you, punk? That's just fine. For the time being, victory is yours. For the time being? Well, I have a very long memory, you know. You and I will meet again. I'm certain of it. Well then, Mr. Judge, I'll see you later too, okay? Huh? Why? Yes. I'm going to go spend a little quality time with the men in blue now. I wish you all the best. You could have just had someone in the crime lab just test the cold medicine. They would have proven your case. Whew! It's finally all over. Objection! I refuse to accept this. The defense hasn't shown a scrap of evidence to support their outrageous claim. But even so, your witness seems to have accepted it. I don't care. I'm Winston Payne. And I don't believe one word of this rookie lawyer has said. Well then, Mr. Payne, let me ask you this. Yes? Would you care to try this cold medicine? What? Just a little earlier, I could have sworn you said... There, it's all right, rookie. For example, I would trust the witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life. So, if she's so trustworthy, then I'm sure there couldn't possibly be any poison in here, right? You see, yes. Objection. And here comes the backpedal. Come on now, rookie killer. Show this rookie how it's done. How much trust do you really have in this woman? Are you willing to bet your life? Yeah, it's flying off my beautiful hair. No, 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 no. No. And that's how male pattern baldness happens, really. Mr. Payne, what about Miss Dalia Hawthorne? Yes, Your Honor. I'll file papers for her immediate. Start over. Yes, Your Honor. I'll file papers for her immediate arrest. Tragic, but not surprising. I knew there was something suspicious about her from the very beginning, you liar. Don't lie, just admit you were wrong. By the way, Miss Fay. Yes, Your Honor. Was it just me, or did you and Miss Dalia Hawthorne seem to know each other? Oh, well, Your Honor, whether we did or not has no bearing on this case. Very well. Mr. Payne, this can't be happening. It's a nightmare. It's like losing my daughter. It appears Mr. Payne has lost his spirit along with his hair. Does the defendant have anything further to say? It can't be true. My dear Dolly. I'm suddenly sick again. Very well, then. I believe I am ready to pass judgment and bring this trial to an end. The court finds the defendant, Phoenix Wright, not guilty. Hooray! Clack. This court is adjourned. April 11th, 3:16 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Mia, you were wonderful in there. Thank you for everything. Oh, I'm sorry, Mia's talking. Thank you for everything, Mr. Grossberg. During the verdict, I thought my hemorrhoids were going to explode like Mount Vesuvius. That's gross. Mr. Grossberg, do you, maybe think you could stop talking about them? That's rather rude. Anyway, this case really made me think. What does it really mean to have a relationship of mutual trust with the client? Perhaps it is when a veteran lawyer who... Perhaps it is we veteran lawyers who have lost sight of this. Oh, Mr. Wright, congratulations. Thanks. You know, I was thinking. Go on. The dolly that I saw up there on the witness stand, I don't think that was really her. What? Yeah, the dolly I know could never have said those kind of terrible things. Maybe she was like, I don't know, a fake or something? Boy, this poor kid still hasn't got a clue. You need to forget about her, Mr. Wright, for your own sake. Yeah, you're right. That's probably for the best. Also, you need to relax a bit more. Try to grow up a little. But out of all my friends, everyone says that I'm the most grown up. Eek, what kind of company does this guy keep? Right now, I'm studying to become a lawyer myself. That's what you keep saying. But I thought you were in the art department. Well, yeah, I am. But there's a friend that I desperately want to help. And if I hurry, then I should still be able to save him in time. I see. Same as Faye. A lawyer is someone who can help people when they're in trouble, right? Mr. Wright, I'm still new to this myself, but I think that's exactly what a lawyer is. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'll study my butt off. I'll become a lawyer for sure. I hope we can see each other again someday. Maybe even in court. It's been 5 years since I was acquitted of all charges. Oops. I became a lawyer like I planned and managed to save my friend. But Mia has passed on to a better place. For me, This trial brings up long painful memories. But it also brings up some very precious ones. And memories that I thought would never rise to the surface again. Mia is gone now, but even so, I can hear her in my mind. Phoenix, no matter what, always believe in your client. In a court of law, your greatest weapon is your belief. 5 long years. Something has happened that's made me think back to her words of wisdom. But that is a story for another day. The end. And I'll be taking off now. Thank you for watching. And we'll be back with a new episode. The Stolen Turnabout. Actually, we'll be going back to the final case of Justice for All before we get to this, which will be Farewell, My Turnabout. So I'll see you then.